After the events of the God Wars, many human tribes were left in barbaric and nomadic tribes, unable to maintain permanent settlements. As the years went on, the tribes were able to settle and form distinct cultural groups. The Fremennik are among the ancestors of the original humans brought to Gielinor by Guthics. They lived nomadically for many years, living simple lives in the cold north. As time went on during the Fourth Age, they abandoned their nomadic lifestyle, settling down and creating Relica. Many were not happy with this settlement lifestyle, instead breaking away and continuing the nomadic way. Those that separated from Relica were known as the Mountain Tribe. As more people split from the Fremennik of Relica, the Mountain Tribe took an opportunity to steal a great rune essence rock from Relica, causing tensions between the two tribes for years to come. The Mountain Tribe continued to remain nomadic until the year 155 of the Fifth Age, 14 years ago. Chief Hamel, son of Wolfgard, settled the mountain camp at this time after his daughter, Asleif, disappeared. Hoping that she would return, they abandoned their nomadic ways to await her, intending to resume their nomadic lifestyle again one day. While we explore the mountain camp today, we'll need to complete the Mountain Daughter quest. We have a single achievement here today, needing to steal from the Keldagrim crafting or baker stall to impress the populace. The skill tasks today will be cooking trout and salmon on the fire in the middle of the village, requiring level 25 cooking. With all that in store for today, let's begin. Arriving here at the mountain pass, we attempt to climb the rocks, but a guard stops us, calling us an outlander. He says they don't want any trouble, but we're not here to cause trouble. Perhaps there's another way in. We snake around the mountain behind him, but we can't cross the rocks up here either. Checking the mountain southeast, there doesn't seem to be a way in. We feel like we're going to need some better equipment to cross the rocks, so we return to Keldagrim, back over that bridge, and grab a rope to help us pass the rocks. Making our way back, we use the rope to sneak past the guard and check out the place. If the others don't want us here, then that's fair, but if it's only the one guy on guard being rude, then we'll stay. We follow the path up and check out the campsite here in the mountains. There are a few tents and a number of folk living here. Let's ask around. Okay, well this guard seems a little less rude than the other. Let's keep checking the place out. There's a tent here that we're not allowed to enter. Fair enough. To the north is a pile of mud and a couple loose rocks. Okay, great. There's a goat herder here who doesn't want to be bothered by us. These are perhaps not the friendliest of people. They head up the nearby path and see a bubbling spring. A person stands here alone and appears to be saddened by something. Walking around, we notice a cave at the far end of the path, though it's blocked by trees. Returning back to the camp, we enter the chieftain's tent and talk to them. Hello, I'm Citizenscape. You look like the chief around these parts.
Greetings, Outlander. I am Hamal, chief of this tribe. What do you want of us?
Well, I was hoping to learn about your people and see if there's anything I can do to become part of your tribe. Everyone seems hostile towards me though.
My tribe is a solitary group. We have little interest or experience with outsiders.
Oh.
My people are not supposed to talk with any outsider without my permission, though I see no reason to make sanctions against you.
Oh, okay, great. So what are you all doing up here in the mountains?
My people split from Relka long ago. We wanted to be closer to nature, and we feel that people of Relka do not respect the old views on runestones.
So, a more traditional life then?
Yes, but we should be moving on from this site. This land can no longer sustain us since we abandoned the nomadic lifestyle.
So why not move on? Why not become nomadic once again?
This site keeps us away from danger of the trolls, and keeps us from those blasted dwarves. There's more though. It's my daughter. She is missing, and I cannot move on without finding her.
Well, I could help you search for her.
You would do that?
Of course. Where should I start? The chief has given us a few leads on his daughter. Apparently she went missing by the pool to the north. Her betrothed is the man we saw there earlier, and he may know more. We venture up and talk to Ragnar, the man near the pool. We ask for any ideas on where the chief's daughter may be. He tells us that Asleif would come up to the pool and sing whenever the camp was in the mountains here. He says he can still hear her singing sometimes, but following the voice just leads him around the pool. I think we should investigate the middle of the pool, though it's not going to be easy to get to it. The tree here is too slippery to climb. We need to do something about that if we're going to get to the middle. We collect up a little bit of mud to help us climb the tree. As we do so, we can hear some soft singing from the center of the pool. We'll need to go further. There are rocks here which we could vault over, but the stick we found is broken and no good. There's space further up, but no easy way to cross. Heading back from the pool, we find an unbroken stick in the pen with the goats. We're going to need a plank too if we're going to cross over the later islands. Heading out of the camp, the guard begrudgingly lets us leave. We make our way down to Sears Village Bank to get a plank. Then we return and begin to make our way back out over the pool. Once we reach the middle island, we hear a voice calling out to us. The voice claims to be that of Asleif herself. She says that she is no longer in this world and in the halls of the ancestors now. Not a great sign. While we can't recover her if she's no longer alive, she has a request for us. She's worried about the people of the camp who are quite stubborn. Because they're so isolated and they've turned away from their nomadic ways, they will eventually run out of food and have no one else to turn to, thanks to their parting with the Fremennik of Relica. The voice of Asleif asks us to remedy these issues. Sounds like we have some work to do. We return to the shore and talk to Ragnar. We try to tell him what we've experienced, but he's not willing to believe that she's actually dead. Chief, I've investigated and I think I spoke to the spirit of your daughter near the pool. I think she may have moved on to the afterlife.
Don't play games with me, Outlander. My daughter must be found.
Well, I heard that you had a particularly bad parting with Relica. Is there anything we can do about that? Perhaps find some common ground for peace?
We do not approve of their ways, Outlander, but we do not hate them. We sent a representative to speak with them, in fact, but we heard nothing more. My daughter always believed that we should make peace between tribes.
Okay, and where is this representative now?
They have not returned to our camp. It has been some time.
I see. I also heard that you're having some trouble keeping food supplies in this campsite. There must be something you can do about that.
Very little grows here in the harsh mountains. If you can find us a source of food that grows in similar conditions, perhaps we could thrive.
So we have a couple of leads to investigate. First, we find the representative of the mountain camp, Svidi, who is waiting between the camp and Relica. He tells us that he was sent to Relica, but hasn't yet met with them, as he's afraid that they might kill him. He also can't return to the mountain camp without completing his assignment, so he needs an agreement of safe passage from the chieftain of Relica. Walking into Brunt's Long Hall, he agrees to give us an agreement of safe passage on one condition. When the mountain tribe split off from Relica, they took with them an ancient rock, a relic of their people. If we return it, they'll give us safe passage. This is politically tricky. The rock is special to both tribes. It'll be hard to convince the mountain tribe to give it up or to convince the people of Relica to go without it. With that in mind, there's only one way we can think of. Sharing. We get a pickaxe from Keldegrim before coyly entering the tent with the rock. With our pickaxe, we split the rock before sneaking out and returning the fragment to Relica. Brunt accepts the rock fragment even though it's not the whole rock. He seems to think that sharing it was both insightful and fair. Phew! Agreeing to meet with Svidi, we return to Hamel and tell him of our success. He claims that the meeting between tribes went well. Success! Now we need to find a sustainable food source that might grow in the mountains of the mountain camp. We know a few other similar climates and we recall seeing plants growing on the White Wolf Mountain. There's a spiky bush growing fruits up here, so we pick it and take out the seed. Returning the seed to the chief, he examines it and considers this a good source of food for the future. Double success. Triumphantly returning to the middle of the pool, we speak once again with the spirit of Asleif. While we were able to accomplish a peace between the tribes and find a source of good food for the no longer nomadic mountain tribe, we have not yet managed to convince the chief that his daughter has actually passed away. The spirit of Asleif asks us for one more favour, to try and convince her father by finding proof. She knows that she was near the lake when she was attacked by a creature or an animal. That's a good start. We did see that cave through the trees earlier. I have a feeling that it might be a good place to start looking. Without weapons, armor, or food, however, we might have some trouble against the dangerous creature. Returning to Keldegrim and gearing up, we make our way through the trees and into the cave. We traverse through the tunnels, seeing corpses littered throughout. When we find our way to a central room, we spot the creature. The creature begins to talk, calling itself the Kendall, guardian of the mountain and god of the northern lands. We're not convinced. This looks more like a man in a bear suit. Unmasking the truth of the matter, the Kendall lashes out and attacks us. The Kendall is tough. Even with our armor and food, it's still a difficult fight. We managed to gain a hit point level during the conflict before the man goes down. With the Kendall defeated, we managed to recover the bones of Asleif and the costume's head too. Chief, there was a man dressed as a bear in the cave beyond the pool. He was pretending to be a god of the mountain, but it was nothing more than a man. Unfortunately, he has killed your daughter. I was able to defeat him and recover her body for you.
So it's true then. She's really gone.
Unfortunately, yes. I am very sorry.
You said you spoke to her spirit in the pool. Would you do my tribe one last favor? Please, give her a proper burial in the middle of the pool.
Of course, Chief. The mountain tribe are very impressed with us, but there are a few more things that we need to do to get their full respect. They have a long-standing issue with the dwarves of Keldorgrim and want us to steal from one of their stalls. We don't really like stealing and return it to the dwarves right away. I hope that they can understand. Why does everyone want us to steal all the time anyway? The barbarians, like those of the mountain camp, are known for their love of salmon and trout. Since they have a big fire in the middle of their camp, we're going to make use of it to cook up some of these fish that we have. Our skill task here today, though unfortunately we do burn a lot of them. The people of the mountain camp can be stubborn and fierce, much like the area where they live. Despite this, I feel like we've done some good work becoming one with the tribe here today. We have ventured far in these lands and have little where else to go. For now, we're going to return to Lumbridge and see about new lands elsewhere. Please join me next time in...
Hey, Citizenscape.
Is someone calling my name? A special thank you to E2 for providing a voice for today's video.